Hello everyone, welcome to ShailajaIAS and welcome to the PYQ Decoder course. I am Subhash. Today I'll be taking class 4 of Science and Technology. This will be the last class of Science and Technology and this will be the last class of PYQ Decoder course. To all my friends, thank you one and all for giving me the support, to make sure this course, and I've been doing it with honesty, with utmost honesty, to help you crack and clear this Civils Prelims 2026. By saying that, all the best for all of you for the Prelims 2026. Go there with confidence. Know that you have done all that is required. Go with the confidence and do well. All the best. Okay. Saying that, now we'll continue with this final class. The important theme in Science and Technology is space, defense, energy, and applied science, applied science of material science, new technologies. These are all 3-4 micro topics, but every micro topics will carry 1 or 2 questions every year. We saw main 2 themes in the last classes, right? IT, AI, emerging technologies. Then we saw biotechnology and health, where 8-9 questions show up in those 2 themes. Another 4-5 questions will show up from these 4 themes. Space, 1 or 2 question, defense, 1-2 question, energy and applied science, 1-2 question. So 5-6 questions from here. Your 15 questions will be covered in these 3 micro themes, macro themes, under which micro topics. So under these themes, everything that is coming, if you study in the last 1 year, so these 3 themes, 50 to 60 pages each theme, if you have studied, and 170, 180 pages if you have studied, we're focusing on only these themes, you will get 90% of the questions right. How? Because of PYQ, and I've analyzed because of last 6 PYQs came only from these 3 themes. Therefore, definitely in 2026, the same trend will continue. There might be slight different changes, but 80 to 90%, almost 13-14 will come from these 3 themes, I guarantee you that. And also these 3 themes only are in news, and you need not go sideways and read all the other extra topics. Only if you have time, do that. Now if you have no time, only focus on this area. Also in the current affairs of science and technology, focus on biotechnology and health first, then focus on IT, AI, and emerging new technologies. Next, focus on space, defense, new energy and applied sciences. Any new initiatives related to energy, renewable energy, new technologies, just focus on that. So in 2025, space technology, Axiom 4, SpaDeX, Gaganyaan. How many of the space missions given above encourage and support microgravity research? As you know, in space, you don't have gravity. So in there, if you do research with respect to how flora, how fauna will behave, that will be useful for our extra. For example, man, if he has to have a station, you have a station in moon, you have to have a station in Mars, then you need this microgravity experiments. SpaDeX is a mission of ISRO to do microgravity. Again, Gaganyaan also is a mission. Axiom 4 is a commercial mission in International Space Station, where microgravity experiment is being done. Axiom 4. And SpaDeX, space docking experiment. It's a fairing where you have a base, SpaDeX, and instead of throwing it, discarding it, what ISRO did is it wanted to do microgravity research on that, on that SpaDeX fairing. One of the part of the rocket itself. Gaganyaan, India's human space flight program, where astronauts will conduct biological and physical science experiment in space, the microgravity environment. So all the 3 are correct, asked in 2025, sir. He has linked the space missions with the microgravity experiments that was in news in 2025. Next, very easy questions were asked. GPS aided geo-augmented navigation system was in news, GAGAN. Why? one satellite we lost again. So GAGAN was in news. It uses ground stations to provide necessary augmentation. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to GAGAN? It is designed to provide additional accuracy and integrity. Yes, we have GPS, right? Global Positioning System of USA. But our zone, we have GAGAN and Navic also we have. GAGAN also we have. GPS aided geo-augmented navigation system. It will allow more uniform and high quality air traffic management. Yes, that is also one of the characteristic. It will provide benefits only in aviation but not in other transportation. This is directly contradicting the third statement. Only in aviation I can do, not in traffic management, not in other transportation, not in ship, ocean navigation. Statement 3 is wrong. So 1 and 2 is correct here. Directly 2 pair are 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is not second option but option D. Please see the options also. Sometimes you will get the answer and you will do mistake while bubbling because you would have not seen 1 and 2 is in which option, whether A, B or C or D. So D option, 1 and 2 only. Clear? So GAGAN is a satellite based augmentation system jointly developed by ISRO and AI. Statement 3 is incorrect. Why? It involves not only the open access to maritime navigation, railway, not only air, but railway, navigation, okay, surveying, precision agriculture, all these various multiple sectors it can be used. Next, again in 2024 with respect to now nuclear technology, with reference to radioisotope thermal generators. Sir, please read. Radioisotope thermoelectric generators. Consider the following statements. RTGs are miniature fission reactors. Okay, those are small nuclear reactors. But see, radioisotope thermoelectric generators. Already the fissioned elements are the elements which decay and produce heat. Radioisotopes, right? There are some isotopes which produce heat and decay. Which decay and produce heat. Radioisotope thermoelectric generator. Through radioisotope generating heat, taking that heat, you are producing electricity. Therefore, these are not fission reactor. First of all, you need to know with respect to nuclear technology, our classification, our 3-stage nuclear program of India, you need to have complete proper basic understanding. And now, you know just by terminology, the electricity is generated through the heat produced by the radio decay of radioactive materials like uranium, radium, plutonium. All this naturally decay. When they decay, they produce heat. Using that heat, electricity is producing, not through normal nuclear fission that will happen in our nuclear reactors. That is the difference between radioisotope thermoelectric generators, RTGs. RTGs are used for powering the onboard system of spacecrafts. In space, in our rockets, we use RTGs. If you have watched the movie Martian, okay, we will be stuck in the Mars. So, you use this RTG, radio isotope thermoelectric generator, to keep himself warm in a rover. These are naturally decaying radioisotopes that produce heat. So statement 2 is correct, one of the characteristics of RTGs. RTGs can use plutonium-238, which is a byproduct of weapon development. Yes, when you are developing weapon, you create some waste or byproduct which are still radioactive and they will be decaying. So these RTGs can use plutonium. Plutonium is one of the radioactive isotopes. So statement 2 and 3 are correct here, my friends, and 1 is wrong because you need to know proper concepts. If you know that, if you have clarity, you will be able to answer. So space, nuclear, nano, understand the basic concepts. In India, if there are any systems, if there are any plans with respect to those technologies, you have to know that also. You have to know the regulations also, which body is controlling the space, the nuclear, all this you have to know so that you will be able to answer, because cross-linking of the question also is happening in UPSC. So this is clear. Next, astrophysics questions was asked in 2024. Statement 1. Giant stars live much longer than dwarf star. Astrophysics, if you have studied basics, wrong. Why? Giant stars are massive stars. very big stars, and they combust fuel very fast. It is like this. Giant stars are like lorry. Okay. And dwarf stars are like splendor bike. Giant star live much longer than dwarf star. Is giant star will be able to travel much longer with the fuel, or will splendor will be able to travel longer, will survive longer? Same theory goes here. Giant stars, though massive, though have large amount of fuel, the combustion amount of hydrogen fuel is very high and very quick. So they are short-living species than the dwarf stars. Okay, species in the sense I'm telling with respect to object. All the giant stars, no, their birth cycle and death cycle is very fast than dwarf stars. So statement 1 is wrong. Okay, basic concept of astrophysics. Compared to dwarf stars, giant stars have a greater rate of nuclear reaction. That is correct. In order to just to make sure they do not collapse under gravity, they have to burn more amount of fuel, hydrogen, than dwarf stars. So they burn their fuel very fast. Even though they have large amount of fuel, the burning rate is very high. Just like how trucks and lorry will burn the fuel very high and their mileage is low, so they will not live much longer compared to the dwarf stars, which is mileage is high. They use fuel judiciously, hydrogen judiciously. So statement 1 is wrong. Statement 2 is correct, which is option D, my friends. And massive giant stars burn through their nuclear fuel. If you see blue, giant stars are normally blue and dwarf stars are normally red. And there is a other stars also, a color gradation you can do. Blue, then orange, then green, okay, then red. Red are the least, very small stars, dwarf stars, which consume least fuel. Blue stars are the large, big, giant stars which consume more fuel. Because of the consumption and the energy they release, there is a color gradation of the stars. Through color gradation, we can know the sizes of the stars also. Giant stars are normally blue stars and dwarf stars are normally red. If you see, yellowish orange is sun. So sun is little bit more than dwarf star, but not so big giant star. And sun, you can say it's a middle-aged, around 30-40 years is the age of the sun if you take the human life, average human life. So he's still in the middle age of his entire lifespan, life cycle from birth and death of the star or sun. So your answer is option D. Space technology, again, objects in space description. Asked in 2023. Again, 24 astrophysics, one question came. Cepheids, stars which brighten and dim periodically is the Cepheids are. Nebula is a massive gas where giant clouds of dust and gas in space where stars get created. It's the cradle of stars. Nebula is a giant cloud of hydrogen, helium, other gases. When under compression, under gravity, it creates stars. Stars are formed. So nebula is called cradle of stars. Cepheids are the stars which brighten and dim periodically. So here swapped here. Both the statements are wrong. Pulsars. Pulsars are neutron stars that are formed when massive stars run out of fuel and collapse. So this is the life cycle of a star. When massive star collapses under its own gravity, pulsars are created and they will also give gravitational waves. Einstein's theory of gravitational waves also can be seen in pulsars. Okay, one of the way of ending of massive stars. It can be black hole also, neutron star. All these are varieties of how a life cycle of star can end in. So pulsars are neutron stars that are formed when massive stars run out of fuel and they collapse under gravity. So only one pair is right. That is statement 3 is right. Third option is correct here. Clear? Only one pair is correct and the first pair and second pair are switched. Okay. Proper general UPSC trap where 3 statements are given, 2 have been switched. In the match the following also, we will do the same thing. 4 option, 2 pair are correct, other 2 are switched. Here 3, 2 are switched and 1 is correct. Sometimes you can give none of the above also in mapping, definitely in IR, which we saw in previous classes, right? All the 3 will be wrong. Clear? Again, space technology. Which one of the following countries has its own satellite navigation system? Like GPS, which country has it? Was in news that year. It was Japan. Option D. Japan had quasi-zenith satellite system QZSS, also known as Michibiki. While Australia, Canada, Israel use the system like GPS. We are developing our NAVIC, right? But still it is not completely operational. Some issues are there. But Japan has, its own navigation system. India also has its own navigation system now, which is NAVIC. Now, which one of the following statements best reflects the idea behind fractional orbital bombardment system, often talked about in media? It was a news, sir, and whenever he gives in terminologies, my friends, please go through and break down the terms. Break down. Fractional orbital, it is going to Earth's orbit. Fractional orbital. Now see the statement where a missile or something is going to orbit. It's a hypersonic missile launched into space to counter the asteroid approaching the Earth and explode it in a space. We also launched, right? Tell me in the comment section which we launched to destroy a satellite. ASAT, it is called ASAT. We sent it to destroy a satellite. It was not a hypersonic missile though. So tell me. A spacecraft lands on another planet after making several orbital motions. So we had Mangalyaan, right, where it made motion. The Vikram, we had lander and the rover which landed in the second time. So that is also not orbital bombardment system. It's a weapon. A missile is put into a stable orbit around the Earth and deorbits over a target on the Earth. So from it will be rotating around the Earth, and whenever it wants to bomb or see the place, precision place, it will come down from the orbit and destroy it. Yes, this is properly making the sense. Fractional orbital bombardment system. For a fraction amount of time, it will orbit the Earth and it will come deorbit, and over a target of the Earth, it go and blast attacks. A spacecraft moving along a comet with the same speed and places to probe on its surface is wrong. Here, answer was option C. It's a warhead delivery system where you just go take to the orbit and you make use of the orbital rotation to go which place you want, and once you have to destroy that place, deorbit and come back and damage. So ballistic missile, it follows just a predictable arc. It will not go to orbit and it will be rotating, waiting for the opportune moment. Ballistic missiles, it's like a projectile. You just go it and it will go and it will fall. So you can easily judge the projectile. Now Iran has attacked the dancing missiles, right? It dances while going, confusing the defense system of the enemy countries. So that also you have to know. New hypersonic missiles, new dancing missiles that were in the news. A potential question can come in 2026. So be ready for it. I think we did it in environment. Which of the following cannot be in the major solar storm happens? What will be the one? Tsunamis at equatorial region will not happen. Widespread forest fires is not directly with respect to solar storms or solar flares. If you remove 2 and 5, it was 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, right? We did it in environment. Again, it is repeated here also. Since science and technology question, right? Astrophysics. With respect to sun, you have to study and prepare well, my friends. So, answer here was option C. Now, nanotechnology 22. Other than those made by humans, man-made, nanoparticles do not exist in nature. Very wrong. Nanoparticles do exist in nature naturally. For example, cloud forming. Many nanoparticles are involved in cloud forming. In agriculture, many applications, naturally you have nanoparticles. When volcano will blow, also nanoparticles are there which will be thrown out. Nanoparticles of some metallic oxides are used in manufacturing of some cosmetics. Yes, some metallic oxide can be used like potassium, phosphorus for cosmetics. Nanoparticles of some cosmetical producers which enter the environment are unsafe for, yes, some nanoparticles are danger for humans. Possibility here 2 and 3 are correct. However, first statement is extreme, that no natural nanoparticle is there is a wrong one. Easy, directly you can answer 2 and 3 here, my friends. Next, which one of the following is a reason why astronomical distances are measured in light years? Why? Very basic concepts in physics which you have studied. Light speed is constant. Of course, there will be slight refraction, slight change in speed. However, it is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. 3 lakh kilometer is the speed of the light. Therefore, speed of the light is always same, and hence it is used in astronomical measuring the distances. From sun to earth, it takes 8 minutes. And the distance between stars we are measuring in light years. 8 light years, 10 light years, 100 light years. That is 100 light years. If 100 years it is taking light from that star to reach here, then it is called 100 light years, and it is measured in light years because the speed of the light is always same. That too in the vacuum, in the space, not much difference will happen in the speed of light. Only in the Earth's atmosphere, there is a slight change in the speed of the light based on the density change. The experiment will employ a trio of spacecraft flying in the formation in the shape of an equilateral triangle that has sides 1 million kilometer long with laser shining between the craft. The experiment was called ELISA. It was called as Evolved LISA. So ELISA is a laser interference test antenna. It's a machine designed to detect the gravitational waves, which I told you, the gravitational waves generated by the stars, the phenomenon of dying of stars due to black holes. So that to detect gravitational waves, you had a trio spacecraft. So just study more about this. Just study new things that has been happening in the astrophysics. Definitely 1 or 2 questions will show up. This is all in 2020-21, so it might not be repeated again same way, but the evolved new research in this field will definitely show up in 2026 prelims, my friends. Again, nanotechnology with reference to carbon nanotubes. Consider the following statements. They can be used as carriers of drugs and antigens. Yes, sir. They can be made into artificial blood capillaries for injured part of human bodies. This was an issue. Okay. Yes, it can be made as artificial blood capillaries. However, UPSC said wrong at that time. But now if you see, already medical breakthrough have been made. In the current context, it is correct. They can be used in biochemical sensors. Yes. Carbon nanotubes are biodegradable. Yes, they are biodegradable. Carbon, okay. Our body also is made up of carbon. Like that, nanotubes are also carbon which are biodegradable. So all of these statements are correct. Sometimes it's 1, 3, 4 it is told, but UPSC answer key. Okay. Now if you see, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4 also. Some questions will be there where you tell this is the answer, but UPSC will say this is not the answer, my friend. That is the answer. Other option is the answer. We have seen every year, right? This year also we have seen in 25 where coaching institutes which we have given are deviating. At least 4 or 5 questions are deviating from the UPSC key. 4 or 5 questions means 10 to 12 marks. So you have to ensure you get 100 plus marks. And cutoff is 91, 92. So at least 10 to 15 marks you should be getting more. And anyway, this year UPSC is giving the key before only. And with based on the key, if you find any discrepancies, you can file with giving proper content and proper all the things for the answer. If the answer is wrong, if the option is wrong, with the proper evidence, you can give it to submit to UPSC of the after the examination anyway. So this guesswork will be reduced if UPSC only gives the answer key, and if it releases the rectified answer key also, it will be very well. So we'll see. We'll hope that change is happening with UPSC. We need not wait 1 year to get the answer key. So what is the common characteristics of the chemical substance are asked in 2025 with respect to defense technologies? generally known as CL20, HMX and LLM105, which are talked about in the media. These are alternative to hydrofluorocarbon refrigerants. Sir, these options are important. 2026 question can come. Please know the important agents, chemicals we used in, substances we used in this option. These are explosive in military weapons. These are high energy fuels for cruise missiles. Okay, our rocket fuels you have to know. These are the fuel for rocket propulsions. Please, what is the answer here? It is military weapon explosive CL20, HMX and LLM105 that was in news. Please make note of substances with respect to fuels of cruise missiles, rocket propulsion and hydrofluorocarbon refrigerants. Okay, question will definitely show up in 2026, I guarantee you. And in one way or the other, it will help you to at least eliminate the options. These are high performance energetic materials. CL20 is one of the most powerful non-nuclear explosive. Okay, in US Army, in defense, they will use it. HMX, high melting explosive, HMX, is a standard military explosive, and LLM105 is a modern high explosive used in advanced warheads. Okay, in missiles which are non-nuclear, these materials are used for creating high impact and destruction, high firepower. What, with reference to India's defense, consider the following pairs. 2025, sir. Dornier Maritime Patrol Airport, it was in news. Okay, we bought it from US. IL-76 supersonic combat missile. Sir, does India have any supersonic combat missile called IL-76? No. C-17 Globemaster is a military transport aircraft that also is in news. Okay, in US Iran was also, they were using this Globemaster, C-17 Globemaster. So here only two pair is correct. One is correct. Dornier is a maritime surveillance. India has ordered. And pair 3 is also correct. It's a heavy lift transport, military transport. However, IL-76 is a heavy lift military transport aircraft, not a combat aircraft. And also, we would have heard all F series, right? F-35, F-18, F-16 with respect to Lockheed Martin, Boeing, the fighter aircrafts of US. If you see, all are with respect to transport, maritime patrol, military transport aircrafts, these are. So answer was 1 and 3, which is 2 pair. Consider the following activities: identification of narcotics on passengers at airport, monitoring of precipitation, tracking the migration of animals. In how many of the above activities can radars be used? See, radars are used with respect to precipitation, rain monitoring, tracking the migration of animals, yes. However, narcotics, small, okay, scanning machines are used, not radar. So only here, again, 2 pairs were the answer. If you see, radars are standard monitoring for precipitation, weather radar, tracking animal migration, biological radar. However, identifying narcotics typically require millimeter wave scanners or chemical sensors, which differ from the very big general radar conventional systems. So your answer was again 2 pair out of 3. In the previous question also you saw one we made wrong, other 2 statements were correct. But all the 3 aircrafts were okay. Military transport aircraft, surveillance aircraft, but not a fighter aircraft. Here also he has given 3 tasks. 2 tasks is the duty of conventional radars and other is a scanning, millimeter scanning, not a radar. Okay, so identification of narcotics was not a millimeter wave scanning and not of a radar, conventional radar work. So activities is only 2 and 3. Consider the following aircrafts here again, sir. Rafale, MiG-29, Tejas Mark 1. How many of them are considered 5th generation fighter aircraft? Now your duty is to 5th gen aircraft. So F-35 USA, tell me Russia ka, Soviet ka, okay. Rafale is a 4.5, Mach 4.5. Mach is the speed of sound. So Mach 1, Mach 2, Mach 3, Mach 4. MiG-29 and Tejas are Mach 4. Mach 4, not Mach 5 engine. So here none of the above are Mach 5 5th generation aircraft. These are all. Rafale is a 4.5, MiG-29 is a 4th, Tejas Mark 1 is a 4th generation light combat, and F-35 and Russia's Su-57 are examples of 5th generation aircrafts. So know what are the characteristics of 5th generation aircrafts. Okay, what are the characteristics of 4.5 with respect to Rafale? 4th question can easily come up like this. So you have to be ready. And which are deployed in war, no, which are in news, the scientific questions with respect to aircrafts, with respect to missiles will easily show up in 2026. Now, carbon fibers are used in the manufacturing of components used in automobiles and aircrafts. Yes, I myself worked in aerospace company where we used carbon composites to manufacture these parts. And yes, this statement is correct. They once used cannot be recycled. This statement is absolute and it's wrong. Some carbon fibers can easily be recycled. Okay. Just like how some plastics cannot be recycled, but some plastics can be recycled. Like Becketite, all this cannot be recycled. Your cooker handle cannot be recycled. Once they formed hardened, they cannot turn to again plastic, okay, melting plastic. But some carbon fibers are thermoplastics where it can again be melted and made into, recycled into the again new product. So here only one pair is correct or one only is correct answer. So 2023 only first option. Now, ballistic missiles. See, already we saw with respect to fractional bombardment orbiting system. Ballistic missiles are jet propelled at subsonic speed through their flights, while cruise missiles are rocket powered only in the initial phase of the flight. If you see, he is swapping ballistic missiles, you just launch it, propel it at initial, and based on the gravity it goes and falls. It is not accurate. So ballistic missiles is this one. Okay. And cruise missiles are jet propelled at subsonic speed, whereas ballistic missiles are just initially powered by rocket. He has exchanged. UPSC has swapped it. Sir, conceptual clarity, and easily you will be able to see how he has swapped. Agni 5 is a ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. So ICBM Agni 5 was again retested very recently. So it is in news. So ICBM is a ballistic missile. It's a medium range supersonic cruise missile. No. BrahMos is a supersonic cruise missile. ICBM is a Agni 5 is a ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. This also has swapped. Both statement yes, swapped. You can see through that trap if you have basic knowledge, okay, and you'll be able to see how he has kept the trap here. Neither one nor two, both are changed. Ballistic missiles, initially it is propelled by rocket and just by gravity and how it has properly, okay, where the location and where it has placed, it will just go and drop. It cannot be controlled like cruise missile. BrahMos is a cruise missile. Agni, all these are ICBM. They do not have any accurate this one to it. If you hit, entire region there will be collapsed. Not for precision guided missiles. If you see, BrahMos is a precision guided, okay, cruise missile, whereas Agni 5 is a ICBM. It can carry the nuclear hits also. Almost, I think the previous Agni 5 which was tested recently, it covered so much of distance, around 7,000 kilometers it can cover. So here neither one nor two. Now consider the following types of vehicles: battery, energy and applied science 2025. Full battery electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, fuel cell electric hybrid vehicles. How many of the above are considered alternative powertrain vehicles? If you see, full battery electric, hydrogen fuel cell electric hybrid. These options were repeated with respect to efficiency of the vehicles, also with respect to carbon dioxide emission. In environment, we discussed this. Right here, all these three are correct. They act as an alternative to conventional powertrain like electric, like diesel. Right, all three represent clean departure from the traditional IC engines, internal combustion engine powertrain. You can use full battery EVs, or you can use hydrogen fuel, or you can use hybrid fuel cell electric vehicle also. Fuel cell as well as electric. All are alternate powertrains. Now, in the context of electric vehicle batteries, sir, it was in news. Okay, we are pushing in battery technologies. So answer, you have to answer this. You have to be ready with all the new technologies, new initiative that the government is bringing with respect to technology, with respect to material science. Please make note of it. It is very important. Cobalt, graphite, lithium, nickel. How many of the above are cathodes? You need to know cathode and anode, and electricity produces from cathode to anode. Battery technology, you know. And which material should be used in cathode, which should be anode, you need to know. If you see cathode, cobalt, lithium, nickel and graphite will be used as anode, not cathode. So answer will be 1, 3, 4, which is 3 only. Cobalt, lithium and nickel are the standard fundamental component of the cathodes in lithium ion batteries, and graphite is typically used as an anode, not the cathode. So answer is here 3 pair, 1, 3 and 4. Clear? Now, with reference to UAV, consider the following statements. Again, sir, this type of questions which we saw in the last class. All type of UAVs can do vertical landing? No. If you have fixed wing, you suddenly cannot come and sit down like helicopter. Only with VTOL, okay, vertical takeoff landing, that facility is there, they can do. All types of UAV can do automatic hovering? Again, no, not all types can do. All types of UAVs can use battery only as source of power supply? No. Some need solar energy, long duration drones. So here if you see, which of the following statements are correct, is asking. None are correct. If he has asked not correct, all 3 are not correct. Here, none are correct. Okay, one exception will always be there, and there are variety of drones for variety of purposes. So, not all type of drones have vertical landing or automated hovering or use only battery. So, this type of questions easily you will be able to score. So, in science, in environment, 2, 3, 4 questions will show up. 8 to 10 marks is yours, my friends. So, be ready to grab that in 2026 also. Now, Indian Railways have prepared a national rail plan to create future-ready railway system by 2028. Always when fact number is given, be a little bit caution. Is it 2028 or 2030, my friends? 2030. Statement 1 is correct, but here he has done wrong. Okay? Chaluk has been. Kavach is an automatic train protection system developed in collaboration with Germany. Yes, it was in news due to rail accident. Kavach system contains RFID tags fitted on track in station section. That is also correct. In order to automatic collision avoidance system, right? AVAX. So here 2 and 3 is, sorry. Correct. Next question. Start. Next question. Consider the following statements. Indian Railways have prepared a national rail plan to create a future-ready railway system by 2028. Yes. Kavach is a automatic train protection system developed in collaboration with Germany. No, it's an indigenous system. It was in news. So many rail accidents, and railway, okay, had brought Kavach. So statement 2 is wrong. Kavach system consists of RFID tags fitted in track for station section to automatic avoidance of rail collision. Here answer is 1 and 3. Statement 1 is cut. Start. Now, consider the following statement. Indian Railways have prepared a national rail plan to create future-ready railway system by 2028. Sir, see, 2028 or 2030? If you see, our normal plans are 2030. UPSC has kept a trap here. And Kavach is an automatic train protection system developed in collaboration with Germany. Again, wrong. It is indigenously developed by our systems, not 1 and 2 and wrong. Kavach system consists of RFID tags fitted on tracks in a station section so that if 2 trains are in same rail line, then same railway track, then automatically it will avoid and slow down. So that was a Kavach protection system. It was in news also. So 1 and 2 are wrong. Here he is asking which of the following statements are not correct, my friends. Not correct means 1 and 2 are not correct. So be careful. Read this also. We'll normally go which of the following are correct. Okay. If 3 is only given 3 only, and you can put 3 only. Or if you don't know some statement and you think it is correct, no, you can go put other also. So just be careful and see which of the following are not correct as asked. Battery storage, biomass generator, fuel cells, rooftop solar photovoltaic units. How many of the above are considered distributed energy resources? I think we studied in the environment classes. All these are not conventional centralized energy system. If you see battery storage, biomass, fuel cell, rooftop, all this can be decentralized distributed energy resources. Go all the 4 years. Easy? Clear? Next question. Consider the following. Which of the following is the example, okay, is the exhaust pipe emission from fuel cell electric vehicles produced by hydrogen? Hydrogen peroxide, hydronium, oxygen, water vapor. What is the byproduct of hydrogen when it is burnt? We did in environment also. It is water in its vapor form, water vapor. Okay, hydrogen, when it is oxidizes, will give you what? Water. This is water vapor. So answer is option D. Now agriculture residue, corn grain, wastewater treatment sludge, wood mill waste. How many of the above can be used as feedstock for production of sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, which we did it in sustainable energy in environment? All the 4 can be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, my friends. It is not in D, but C, direct, straightforward. I'm going fast because this was done in already last class in environment. Okay, the final class of environment. So make sure space, nuclear, nanotechnology, new energy, material science, applied material science, all these are interesting topics where UPSC will choose the questions from. So make sure you go through this and revise well, and all the best for your exams. Thank you for supporting and for watching. You can contact us. You can contact Gautam sir in ShailajaIAS for any help. So all the best for your exams. Take care.